For many years, I couldn't really work out why the marine environment was deteriorating so rapidly and why people couldn't see that it was necessary to do something about it. I was down here one day on this beach, and I looked out and thought, oh, this is exactly the same as when I first came here. Thank goodness nothing has changed. It looks exactly as it did when I arrived here when I was 23 years old. It's the same rock, same bay, same birds almost flying overhead. And I thought, well, but it's not the same under the water. And then I realised why this has happened, why the marine environment, the reefs particularly, have deteriorated so badly. People cannot see under the waves. And I've been a diver all my life. I don't dive with aqualung, but I dive with snorkels, so I can see the top little bit where most of the life is. And I've been doing that every few months for 43 years now, here in this one bay. So I've seen the changes. So I think that's what it is. That is why it has been allowed to go this way, that people don't know that they can see the forests being cut down as they drive along the road, but they can't see what's happened underneath as the marine environment's been cut down by overfishing. One of the things that sparked my interest in doing this was a conversation I had with somebody on the island 2 years ago now. We were talking about these issues, the development on the island, the deterioration in the sea. And I said, well, how are you going to get all these people on the island? Most people on the island would like the island to be better, more looked after better environmentally. And this friend said, well...
The problem, and it's been this way for quite a number of years now, is nobody's asking people.
So that was also in my mind on this kayaking trip. I thought, when we go around, we'll talk to people and record what they say, no matter what they say. And that's also what we did. So we went around talking to the people we met, no matter who they were. It didn't matter whether they were a visitor to the island or somebody from Auckland or somebody that lived on the island. Just the people we met that wanted to talk to us, we talked to them and asked them what they thought of the environment on the island and how it could be looked after.
Overall, I was kind of pleasantly surprised also with the clever and stuff.
So we're bringing in the science of ecology. We're also bringing in environmental science. We are bringing that together with local knowledge. We're bringing that together with the mātauranga of a particular place, if that's appropriate for mana whenua to share. So all of these things come together, and it's that gives us a really accurate assessment of the actual state of the places that we're at.
Have you noticed much change in what sort of biodiversity have you noticed?
Yeah, I mean, it's been an interesting time to be doing the surveys. We've had the rahuis and the closures, and then the Kalepa closure and stuff like that. So we were able to see a really beautiful trend of recovery through the closures.
And there's so many interactions in the ocean, it's so hard to be sure. You know, you're stuffing up one species of fish by overfishing it. You don't know what you're doing to another 20 or 30 species.
I'm Karen, and I'm bird rescue on the island. We have been for about 21 years. This is a kurura, or a little blue penguin, but it's a juvenile, and it's not old enough to be leaving the nest because it's very skinny and it's still got fluff on it. So it's not safe for it to go in the water. So something's happened to the parents, or they can't find enough food.
So whatever we're doing today with this opportunity needs to be with future generations in mind. In 100 years' time, that's 2 generations. It's a couple generations away.
My island that's called Edic, off the west coast of Brittany in France. One thing I wanted to tell you is how we have managed to completely deplete the sea of any fish. Not any, I mean, there are maybe 1 or 2 hanging around, lonely ones.
What did you want to get out of the trip, and what did you want to show people, and what, even large or little, what did you want to have an influence of?
I wanted to take a group of young people with me and have them learn about the environment, and hopefully they'll have an influence on things in the future in their own work and their own careers. That I'm sure will happen. The second thing I wanted to do was to record the opinions of other people. Hopefully by giving their opinion, those people will also focus their minds on how they'd like to see this island go in the future. And if that video can then go out to the wider audience on the internet, on the film festivals, then we'll have an influence on that bigger community.
You basically dive wherever you feel comfortable.